So, what are some things you think about walking to class? Or how do you feel? Yeah, like how do you feel, or like what are you thinking about? What's going through your head?
Depending on the weather, first, and the class. What am I going to expect when I walk into class? What is the teacher going to talk about? Am I prepared for class, basically? Making sure I have all my stuff ready.
I mean, pretty much just like, okay, now I gotta go to class. I kind of just think about like what else I'm gonna do throughout my day, like whatever things I'm gonna get done.
The campus is really pretty, I'm not gonna lie. Especially at certain times of the day. But mostly what I think about is probably like the next song that I'm gonna play to like go along with my mood that day. Or hoping that I don't trip. You know what I mean? I look stupid in front of some people.
I wish I could block out this experience because it's so cold. I wish I could just black out and wake up and then bam, I'm at class. Or I listen to music.
I don't know, I just feel like everybody's to themselves. Like not a lot of people come up and just like get to know other people. I don't know where I came from. Like everybody knew everyone in their class, or at least. And then here it's different. It's kind of like a culture shock. So.
I feel usually pretty happy when I'm walking to class. I wish that it was warmer out because it's really cold right now and it's supposed to be spring. I think about how I'm hungry and if the DC is serving anything edible today.
What we're about to learn and usually what I'm listening to. I listen to music on the way to class.
Where are other students going? What classes I have that day, like how I'm gonna plan out my day basically.
Do you feel safe on campus?
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah. Because our building's like right next to campus safety. So I'm like, alright, just in case I need you guys.
During the day, mostly yes.
I do feel really safe walking around on campus. I've never felt like I might need to run and touch a blue button. I know that campus safety is always right around the corner if I need anybody.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. Me and like all my friends, we were in the Dunkin' Donuts on West Street and some random dude just like pulled out a gun and then started playing with his bullets and was like talking about it. And I, being the idiot that I am, didn't notice at all, but they all got like freaked out. But then I realized like once I heard about it, I was obviously freaked out. Like that's not a place for them.
Sometimes I'd go from Lloyd's or whatever, or I'd have, last semester I had late classes, and so there would be times where Appian Way would be completely like without anyone, and so I'd be the only one.
Safe, yeah. But then I only feel safe mostly because I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I walk with a knife everywhere I go, so yeah, I feel very safe.
Alright, this is a personal question, you don't have to answer if you want to. Do you or your family own guns?
Yes, we do. Not me personally, but my family does.
How do you feel about that? Them having it, like being in the house with them?
My dad has one and my brother has one, and they're both like in a safe. Yes.
And do you feel safe with that, or how do you feel about that?
I feel safe, especially because of where I came from. So it was really a rough neighborhood, so it was necessary to have some type of way to defend your own.
No, none of us own guns.
And how do you feel about that? Are you glad about that? Do you still feel safe if you don't have guns?
No.
Yeah, some of my family does own guns. I live with my uncle, he owns a few guns. Yeah, I just don't like knowing that they're in the house, even though I don't think that my uncle would use a gun on me. Like knowing that he could isn't like nice.
Yes.
How do you feel about that? Do you feel safe with that, or?
I do feel safe knowing how to assemble, disassemble, clean.
My family does not own guns. My dad is kind of against guns. He believes that we should just get rid of all guns at this point.
So, would you feel safe if teachers were allowed to be armed on campus?
No. I feel as if it would be unnecessary for teachers to have armed weapons on campus.
If it was just an ordinary teacher, probably not, because they don't have like as good of judgment as a professional. I think if the teachers have a military or like police background and they know how to use those guns, then they should be like trained and put through courses, and then they're allowed to do it, I guess.
I don't think I would like it very much. The positive aspects would be obviously that someone, like if something happened in a classroom, like there would obviously be another adult with a weapon that could like, I don't know, fight back, I guess. But I feel like the world shouldn't have to come to that. I feel like there's a few more steps that need to be taken before that.
I'd feel incredibly unsafe if teachers were allowed to be armed on campus because some teachers don't have very good judgment and some teachers don't have very good patience.
No, I would not feel safe in the slightest.
If they have a background in police or military, like they're trained like to use a gun, yeah, but if if they don't, no.
What do you think the chances of your community, whether at home or here at school, would experience gun violence?
I think it's likely because there's a good amount of crime where I'm from, especially around with opioids, and there's a good amount of drug dealing in gangs. So it's likely.
I feel it's low. I feel like people are not the happiest, but I don't feel any threat or danger.
I don't think gun violence here is a problem. Back home, for sure, every day.
The chances of this campus, I mean, being there, this is like a little school, I really think it'd be pretty low. I mean, South Windsor's kind of like, it's a mix of people there, and I think it would be a pretty low chance as well, but I mean, not too far from me in Newtown, they had the shooting over there, so I mean, they probably thought they were pretty safe, but like, I mean, I think everyone's at risk at some point.
I think in my town, we've never had a shooting, which I'm like happy that we haven't, but here, I've seen a couple people, just like people around the town that have had guns, so, but I think it's kind of low because it's a pretty safe campus.
You probably hear about it like a few towns over, but it would never be like specific, that area.
It could happen anywhere, I think, no matter what kind of security or precautions or how safe you think you are. Guns are an issue, and they could become an issue.
Well, where I'm from, it's like I don't really see as many gun stores as I do up here. Even Walmart, like I'd go to Walmart and I could see guns being sold, but if I were to go back to Boston, there's not one gun I see in Walmart. So I feel like here is more susceptible of that happening because there's so many gun stores around the premises.
I think with all that's happening, I think it would be pretty likely to happen here. Not pretty likely, but it's always a possibility. Like, wouldn't walk around thinking that it's never gonna happen, because it does happen, and we've seen that.
It's just like, wow.
Okay.
Because like all the recent things that have happened, like due to like people having access to guns, it does make somebody like really jittery.
Are you aware of the recent movements or legislation surrounding gun control, and how do you feel about it?
I like the movements with less gun violence. I appreciate that. All guns are really causing right now is death, so I don't see any pro in having a gun at all.
I support the gun reform movements. I think it's going to be a couple years before anything significant happens, but it's going to happen, obviously.
Well, like I'm glad now that people are taking action and actually fighting for something that has been a problem for a while. I don't know, I'm proud of all those students that are coming together and how it's like younger generations that are actually taking action and not the older people who have had to deal with this longer than we have.
I'm glad that more people are becoming aware and more people are actually taking part, because it's the masses that make the movements.
I think the March for Our Lives was awesome, and I think that movement was great, and I think it's definitely what the world needs. They need young people to like stand up and do that. I think there definitely needs to be more work. Obviously, I think we're just at the beginning, but I think we're on our way. The beginning's better than nowhere.